Hello, this is Success. How may I help you?
All right. So what's up, Omar?
Yo, coming back from the gym.
So welcome to the podcast, DeVante Talks with Success. The first thing I want to ask you is to introduce yourself and tell the viewers what exactly it is that you do.
What's up, everyone? My name is Omar Prestwich, and I am the social media, not a breath, the social media community manager for K-Swiss.
Okay. So, Omar, I want you to tell us your story. How did you get to where you are today?
That's a really, really, really long story. But as far as like where I got to be, I got to my professional, like where I'm at in my professional life, it was honestly right back down to the core of what I love, which is music and design.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is I used to DJ. I used to be like I would throw events with my friends,
Awesome.
and I so like event planning, DJing. I just wanted to be like the cool kid. I
Yeah.
always had like the fresh music, and I have turntables and all that stuff. So that's how like I got started as far as like knowing that I can, learning like what I really love to do. Shit, I'd like I'm coming back from the gym right now. All right, so anyway, and then fast forward a few years. This is when I lived in Utah. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna be a Skrillex or Diplo or Cascade, like
Yeah.
top level DJ, but I'd been involved in sales because I was doing door to door sales like
Okay.
all through college, and so I was like, I'm good enough at like selling, and I'm great at finding fresh music. So
Yeah.
uh, what I did was I just thought, all right, what? Like, I can start a record label. It was just Skrillex has Owsla, A-Track has Fool's Gold, Diplo has Mad Decent. Why can't I have my own label?
Yeah.
So I started a record label. It's called, right here, Damn Son.
That's awesome.
um, and no idea what the hell I was doing. I'm just like, I'm gonna start this thing, trademark the name, talk to one of my best friends. I was building websites at the time. This is
Okay.
like late 2011, and just started this record label. And immediately from starting it, for whatever reason, I was like so like focused on making an apparel music label brand. So
Yeah.
like making so much money off of apparel that I could put on my friends music wise, and as like a
Okay.
struggling musician, I'd be able to fund like the tour or like help them get to places that they can't get to. And that
Yeah.
was like my this is how I do it.
Okay.
And it never got that big, but what I found was by starting that and being fully committed with that kind of mentality and vision, I
Yeah.
found that people like they responded well and they became a fan of the brand.
Okay.
And what that allowed me to do was learn about community and learn everything about building a whole brand. So
Okay.
aesthetic wise, how to like manage people, start to do social media. And
Yeah.
as I started doing events, I learned how to do photography. So
That's awesome.
if you look at my like Instagram profile, for example, it's like a
This,
good example of like my journey and
okay.
like all the photos that kind of brought me to where I am right now. And so cut me off any of you. You still hear me? We good?
Yeah, I can still hear you. It's like going in and out. So you were saying if I check out well, you were saying how your Instagram now traces your journey and you have like the photography of how you're going about your process right now,
Yeah,
right? Okay. Cool.
yeah. So you can literally go all the way back, and you can like just see everything
Okay.
from when I like literally my first I don't even some pancakes in St. Louis or something when I first like oh this Instagram thing. Um,
It cut off the
anyway,
video.
fast forward. Okay, let me see. I'm almost to my apartment,
Okay,
and then
no
I'm gonna
problem.
take.
No problem, man. No problem at all. All right. So you're talking about your story on how your Instagram uh goes through your journey. You want to explain?
Yeah. So, and please chop it up
No,
however
yeah.
you, because it's like chaotic.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I learned from starting my own record label and was that you can create an idea and learn so much out of it. And so,
Okay.
for example, the record label as it was growing, and my end goal was like to make an apparel brand. I started learning how to design and do photos, and
All right.
instead of college, I started working at a screen printing shop,
Okay.
and screen printing my own stuff. And so I started learning about like sourcing and again design and the whole process of it, right?
That's awesome.
And it was at a startup screen printing shop,
Okay.
and they needed someone to run their social media, and I started running the store, and so I just learned so much from making a choice to start my own thing.
Yeah.
And in the middle, like literally like the beginning into like what my momentum started, Kate had a program called The Board back then. This is before Gary Vee, and
Okay.
it was like it was the original concept, or really similar to where young entrepreneurs or creatives would help kind of revamp K-Swiss.
All right.
They picked 100 people from around the world, and I happened to be one of them.
That's awesome.
2015, I think. And so, you know, it was just a good experience where I learned about like, okay, this is the brand mission, and
Yeah.
I believe in that because I'm doing that myself.
Yeah.
And what I did was I started, I just kept in contact with Barney and some of the
Okay.
case people. Here's like a tip that the listeners hopefully get is I never asked for anything. You know, I never asked for free shoes.
Yeah.
Never said, I literally was like, hey, I bought the shoes. I would go out and shoot photos. I would give stuff like without
Okay.
expecting anything. No, and it was just because I loved the brand, and as I
Yeah.
developed my own record label brand and my own personal brand, my goal was to do like some freelance photos for K-Swiss, but
Yeah.
eventually paid, or do like this music collaboration. I just had an idea of like, how can I work with K-Swiss and bring them value, so it like makes sense, right? And I think that's where a lot of people kind of miss the mark is
Okay.
they don't, they're not willing to, weirdly enough, like work for free, but with like an end goal in mind, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's truthfully, not to like rant on forever, but that's how I ended up to where I am now. Is I started doing my own thing, and I worked relentlessly at it for hours, dropped out of school, worked at a startup screen printing shop, started my own brand, the music thing, photos, just go, and dude, literally like sacrificed everything, relationships, like family time, and I'm still like going through it, and it's like the best.
That's good. I mean, this story could have turned out differently, but it turned out well because you kept pushing. So that's awesome.
Yeah, and that's like literally like a smidget, because like I said, I could talk forever on it. But yeah, keep asking like what else you got.
Yeah. So
I want to just give you knowledge or value.
my next thing is I mean, you talk about having to give up sacrifices and all that kind of stuff. And so you talk about how you dropped out of college and how you had this vision in your head, and I'm assuming mindset like was probably a big part of keeping you going along that path. Like, because a lot of people kind of like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and it's like quit. So like, how big do you think mindset is in your life?
Dude, here, you guys are getting I'm like in my apartment right now. What up? And this is it, dude. Like, I'm not fancy. I don't have TV. Gary Vee, Crush It, Jab, 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 Right Hook, Unlabeled by Mark Echo. And then there's Jay-Z, Crush It. I mean, I like believe in personal development.
Okay.
And I believe in like, like for reals, like having your mindset right. If that answers your question.
Yeah.
Like, I believe that if you can work on bettering yourself and have a purpose every single day, and that's different for everybody, like
Okay.
that's just the truth, then you will always you'll be relentless in the positive mindset. Sacrifices won't matter too much because you'll know you're doing things with intention and with good
Yeah.
purpose. It's just like doing shit and I call it being on a treadmill where you're just going, but there's not like a real direction. And I've
Okay.
found myself in this treadmill a few times where I'm working fucking hard and I'm like, wait, what was I doing? And then I get frustrated and then I have to go back, to hang on, let me reevaluate things. Let me stop doing this or let me do more of this. And that's just never ending.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that makes complete sense. So going along this and saying you're in self-development, because that's one of the things that I'm focused on right now, and that's why I'm reaching out to everybody and doing this podcast to help inspire other people with other people's journeys, as well as learn myself to put more stuff for me to learn through people who are already going through it. And through this, I'm assuming you might have some kind of daily routine or habits that you do daily to help you pursue this goal and keep this mindset and go persistent. So what
Yeah.
daily habit might you have?
Honestly, since this is this is the realest thing I've ever done. So
Yeah.
here's the bed. I don't live fancy, and it's a little bit messy right now. But
Yeah.
my number one thing, as soon as I wake up, I do two things. One, and
Okay.
I'm getting better about this. I hit a timer on my cell phone. I started a tracking thing
Okay.
just to see how long it takes me to do stuff. And after that, I make my bed. It's
Okay.
I get up, I make my bed. And for some reason, then I can do the next thing. And so for me, the next thing is drinking 8 ounces of water.
Okay.
I'm trying to do a little bit of stretching, but if I don't do that, normally I'll just get ready and go to the gym.
Yeah.
Right now it's nighttime and I just came back from the gym, so I'm switching my routine. But it's I need to do something active.
Okay.
You can't see, but my journal's over there. And then I write morning journal thoughts. I try to
Okay.
meditate for 12 minutes. It's a little podcasting it's not even a podcast. It's I plug in my headphones and it's a guided morning meditation.
Yeah,
to
I've heard
review
about
my
that.
day. So that's kind of my morning routine. It's something that hasn't been easy, but it's been 3 years where I've been consistent enough that when I break the routine, I can see where I dip and then I get
Yeah.
back on it. I'm then I go back. But make my bed, write in my journal, do some stretching or do some sort of physical activity, and then avocado and toast. That's
Nice.
my thing. And then right to work. And then at nighttime, I try to do, I call them, I'm biting my mouth. I call them jam sessions. And I got that concept from one of the personal development books that I have by
Okay.
Darren Hardy, which is called The Compound Effect. And jam sessions are he does hour and a half, which I
Okay.
try to do about an hour of just straight focus work. And so I try to do 2 of those a day. One of them in the morning from 7 to about 8:30 in the morning, because that's
Okay.
when no one's bugging me. And by the way, my day normally, if I'm consistent and I'm the shit,
Yeah.
I'm waking by 5 a.m., 4:30, 5 a.m., and then go, because that allows me to go to the
Nice.
gym, be in a coffee shop because I don't have Wi-Fi in my apartment
Okay.
by 7 a.m. to do what I need to do. And then at nighttime, after work and everything, 2 hours-ish or 3 hours before I go to bed, I try to have another jam session for an hour, just to get one more piece of work done, just for personal things. And then I try to have my clothes for the next day. I love wearing black, so it's really easy. But that way, when I wake up, it's I know if I'm gonna go to the gym, my gym clothes are ready, my
Yeah.
clothes they are ready, and I just go. And it's it's those things that truthfully have allowed me to get further ahead faster.
Yeah.
And because I really believe in developing habits that help you be better.
No, dude, I completely agree. Those are one of the things I'm focused on, and I feel like it's something that we learn as a kid. People are oh, make your bed. Oh, make sure you prepare your clothes for the next day. But it's something that we're it's whatever. It's not that big of a deal. And I ran into Gary when he came down here for the conference. Well, I kind of stalked him and figured out where he was. But one of the people in the lobby, his name was Victor Belfort, and he was a UFC fighter, and
Yeah.
he was what do you guys want to do? And we're oh, this is what we're looking to do, eventually run our own business, me and this other kid named Rishi. And he was well, do you guys make your bed? And we're if we're being honest, no. And he was like, well, how do you expect to manage people if you can't even like keep track of things in your own life?
Dude, 100%. It's like the weirdest thing to like. I don't even know how to explain it other than like you learn how to do good habits,
Yeah.
and not only is it good habits, but they're things that
Oh, the video got okay, cool.
we're good, yeah. So they're just things that are very important, I think, to declutter your mind. You know,
Yeah.
like make clean room. And I'm slightly embarrassed. I'll just show you a little bit. You know, it's like turntables, big old whiteboard to write my goals down, and like
Nice.
there's really like no clutter minus like you can see right there.
Yeah.
I just moved into a studio, but like making if I can leave here and like my bed's made, my desk is like organized, I'm good, dude. When I come back, it's like it's seeing everything clean and organized to me is like so important, and
Yeah.
it just with my like mentality.
That's something that I'm trying to focus on. Like, I can live in chaos, but like, I've got to figure that out because it's not good.
Dude, just start, man. It's literally like just make your bed and like drink some water and that's it, dude. Like fold your clothes, make sure they're hung. Like literally, it feels good, dude.
It it does. Like, once I started making my bed, it felt like, okay, like, now I'm like, okay, I have to do this. And then I messaged him and I was like, yo, you should come on the podcast. And he's like, are you making your bed every day? And I was like, all right. So,
And it's an awesome thing. So yeah, those are so I do have routines and I try to be consistent with them. And then even on top of that, one of the things that I literally like try to include in my routine,
okay.
and anyone like if you follow me on Instagram or you want to follow me,
Yeah.
every Friday I try to do this thing called a High Five Friday.
Okay.
It's a little that I kind of twisted bit borrowed from Tim Ferriss because
All right.
he does I can't like bullet point Fridays or 5 bullet points. Anyways,
All
it's an
right.
email that he does. So for me, it's like 5 things that have helped me this week be better, and I've been consistent like for a year.
That's awesome.
I'm on like week 49. There was like a month where I purposely took off I needed it.
Yeah.
I was like overworking myself, and that was
Yeah.
taking time. It was anyways excuses, but I didn't do it.
I mean, you got to understand when you need that break because if you don't understand, you'll overwork yourself and then you're like
Yeah.
putting more pressure and making yourself feel bad for
Dude,
like not
it was
clearing
so bad that
projects.
my neck was like hurting. It was like, but yeah, High Five Fridays. It's like I give a quick little thought of just like something like this. The topic today was because Friday was ending the year with with self-awareness, and I
Yeah.
mean that like if you reflect back on the year, I know like I've been looking at my goals a lot more this year. It's like what things did I accomplish? What was I doing to
Yeah.
make that happen? What things did I miss, and what was I doing to miss that? And then being like completely self-aware and honest with yourself. So that was the topic
Yeah.
today. So I'll do like a topic, and then I'll do a quote, a podcast that I'm listening to, music that I'm listening to, a personal thought, just like something, whatever it may be. You know, like
Yeah.
need to stop being so honest, or like whatever.
Yeah.
I need to blah blah blah. And then the last thing that I do is what I do. Why am I? Oh, something that I'm working on.
Okay.
So like tracking or waking up early or not spending any money for like 3 days. Dude, try doing that. It's so hard. Like zero money.
Yeah.
And you know it changes every week. It could be like this week I need a little bit more cash, so I'm following Gary's example and I start flipping shit.
Flipping.
Like honestly, let me just show you this stuff. I've
Yeah.
been like going to yard sales and stuff, and I'll flip it, dude. I've made like $2,000 just doing that.
Wow.
And it's kind of cool to like apply those things, and it's just like a little goal. That's like what can I do to like just do something different? I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'll have to go on a huge tangent about that, but
That's cool.
there you go.
I mean, that's what this is for. So my next question would be, like, what would be like your number 3 tips for somebody in your industry?
In social media,
Yeah.
Ooh, that's number 3, top 3 tips. One is see who's the best and follow them. See what they're doing to be the best. Whether that's someone that writes good copy, someone that does great photos, or someone that maybe the posting, how they do it. Like, that's just something that I really believe in.
All right.
Number 2 is like work with your team and know that like not all on you, and see how you can, through your work, help out the company and the team and everything. Because if you don't know, if you're not like aligned with them, like I think this is something, real talk, I'm like trying to do myself. Is since I'm the K-Swiss community manager, I'm posting and I'm writing stuff like how if I'm posting, like what am I saying, what's the purpose, what does my team want to say, what do the designers want to say, and that's, I think that applies to any company. And number 3 is I think it's just like develop your personal brand, because as you develop a personal brand, I think you see the value of creating authenticity for the company that you work with. So those are like 3 tips right on top of my head. If you're on your game, or trying to be on your game, or like learning how to do it, and then you're following other people, and I think that all, like, it makes, for me personally, it makes my job a lot more fun, because I don't ever feel drained. It's like I'm able to do it 24/7 because it's fun. And then to me, all of a sudden, I'm like charging this thing. To me, all of a sudden, it's not work. It's just fun.
Yeah. So you said, talking about personal brand, you talked about like authenticity. So like, what would you say for the person that's trying to start a personal brand, but they kind of feel like they need to fit a certain thing because they're watching somebody else?
Dude, like, just be you. Like, I'm fucking like a mess. I just came back from the gym. I've showed you my apartment. Like, dude, if you want to, and I tell this to people that ask me this question, it's like, just be you, man. Do you. Whatever it is. If that's, you like to, like, one of my best friends, Christian, for example, musician who has made music that has released on Skrillex's record label, and Skrillex is like, played his music. So he does, a lot of cool shit. He doesn't wake up until like, I don't know, noon. But he also he also stays up and works till like 6 a.m. And so like maybe I'm going a different way, but he's just being real. It is how it is, and he like doesn't hide it, and I think that's amazing, right? It's like you don't have to please anybody, dude. Like, do what you are, whatever makes you you. I think do. I also think, like, listen and follow, like, Joe Rogan. There's this podcast episode that you can even Google it. It's like Push Me Through Hell or something like that. And I love it because it's like some really motivational clips. But he basically talks about, like, dude, stop being a little bitch and be the hero of your own movie. And I love that because it's like, dude, this is your life, you're you. And it's like, don't try to please. And I'm not like trying to copy what Gary says or anything like that. These are real things that I've applied in my own. And like, when I stopped trying to please people around me, parents, friends, whatever, coworkers, that's when I really feel like my career started taking off and like becoming a career. And what I mean by that is in Salt Lake, where I'm from Utah, and I got being in this treadmill of like, I never felt like I was progressing too much with no money in my bank account. With no money in my bank account, and $17 basically to my name. I went to Seattle, and I started fresh. No job, college dropout, no place to live, and I just like didn't care for reals. Like, I did not give a fuck what anyone thought. And the first 2 weeks that I was in Seattle, I was cooking at Chipotle. I was a line cook, a 30-year-old working at Chipotle who just, I was like a lead photographer and like junior designer at this other, company. To like flipping meat. And I smiled every day and I loved it. And I was just thankful to like have a job because like that to me is like, dude, you know how many people don't have jobs? And the fact that I was still able to like push through. And I say I was only there for 2 weeks because I ended up becoming a lead designer of a company in Seattle called Simply Seattle.
Okay.
Fast forward like a year almost, I ended up with the opportunity to work with K-Swiss, and now I'm here. But had I not said like, fuck everyone, I don't care, this is me, I'm just going to do me and follow my like heart and gut,
Yeah.
none of it happened. And that's the
Yeah.
truth.
I feel like we're talking about that, and I mean, Gary talks about it a lot, but I feel like it's just something that people don't seem to mention, but it's like really key is like you want everybody's, even though you want everybody's approval, right? Like that's how most people think. And like the way to get it is not to want it, it's to not want it. It's like when you don't want something, that's when you actually start to get it because people want to be around you once you're yourself. It's
So
like this
here's
magnet.
the truth, like about me, which I don't say too often, but I mean
Okay.
it, which is if I can like improve, if I can be better just being me,
Yeah.
and it creates opportunity for me, and I'm able to help someone else, I'll do that all day long. And
Yeah.
um, I think that's what kind of separates different people is
Okay.
because, like, I obviously, sorry, man, my
No
battery, like,
problem.
hang on. Basically, it's like, let me put this in a charger, better one, that is.
Okay.
Then I got to dip in like 10 minutes.
Okay.
Uh, Boom. We good? We
We're
good.
good.
My pad. Okay. Self-awareness, creativity. What were we talking about? What was the last thing?
I was saying how like I feel like once you don't want other people's attention, it's like it's a magnetic force that draws other people.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's right. So the reason I'm like, why I want to like do my thing, level up as much as I can because I don't want to be. This is real talk. I don't want to
Yeah.
be the guy that knows people. I want to be the guy that people know.
Yeah.
That would like that's willing to help them out. That's like willing to give them advice.
No,
That's
I
willing
agree.
like that. That to me, if I can be that guy, hell yeah. Like
Same.
that. That's it. That's all I care about. I could give a fuck if I'm cool. I'm not trying to be cool, but if I can help you out, 10 out of 10 times I'll do it for
Yeah.
reals.
That's awesome. I mean, I feel like that's kind of like that's kind of the path that I want to head down. And first, I want to accumulate the friendships with people. You know what I'm saying? That's part of the reason why I'm doing the podcast as well, is because I want to build friendships with everybody that I'm able to talk to. And I feel like this is like a really good way to do that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, do it your way. Be completely authentic. For me, it's right here. It was music, dude. Like
Yeah.
that's how I've learned how to do everything, and it's built a lot of great friendships. It's also taught me like to let go of certain friendships. Like there
Yeah.
comes a point where some friends you just like, hey, you know what? We've been homies forever, but like things are changing, I'm changing, and I just
Yeah.
got to go this. So do it your way. If podcasting is the way to go, hell yeah. You know, I'm excited to see what happens with this.
Yeah. So
What else?
my next question for you is, what's something that's like coming up soon that, or like might be coming up like right now that like you're really pumped or really excited for?
The end of the year, man. Like,
Okay.
and the reason is because 2018 was by far the best year of my life because it was the year that I've been so like consistently focused on little
Awesome.
wins. I did things a little bit different. I thought about like instead of this year, here are my top 10 goals. I
Yeah.
wrote down experiences that I wanted to have. And
Okay.
when I wrote down experiences, I broke them down into like way down. And it was like, for example, I wanted to run a marathon. That's where I didn't. This is like real talk.
Okay.
Like a goal to run a marathon. Well, how am I going to run a marathon? Well, before I do that, I got to do a half. Before I do a half, I got to do like whatever, 10K. And
Yeah.
that requires me going to the gym and training and doing this. So I broke it down like that. And I actually was training so hard. I did the Seattle half this year, so I actually
Okay.
did run half, and I did it in an hour and 33 minutes. Like
Damn.
that, yeah. I was so stoked because I literally was like the goal. Oh, and like it wasn't that I wanted to run a marathon. The goal was like I wanted to have a 6-pack. Like I want to be fit.
Okay.
Well, how do I get fit? What activities, what experience can I have to have that? You know,
Yeah.
it's not like I want to kill myself at the gym. I'm like, I want to have fun while doing this. And so like 2019, that's what I'm excited for. Like what experiences do I want to have
Okay.
to make it happen? Like 2018, two of my like goals, experiences that I wanted to have. One of them was to work with Gary Vee or do a project with him.
Okay.
And another one was to work and do a project with K-Swiss.
Okay.
Like first,
That's
whatever
awesome.
mind that happened. Clouds and Dirt was my
Yeah.
first launch with K-Swiss. And
Awesome.
I was, holy shit, like this is happening.
Yeah.
So shout out K-Swiss, little shoes here. But yeah, so that's what I'm excited for, is just like knowing that amazing things happen with hard work and focused work, and just, you know, just to level up.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I mean, I can tell you probably definitely have a 6-pack if you were able to run that, because I'm a cross-country runner. And I know once I'm in shape, you got that 6-pack, like
32-year-old right here with terrible eating habits. Like I love, like just today I had a big ass hamburger and a beer with like post work, and I'm like shit, and I got to go to the gym and work out, and no 6-pack in 2018. Let's see 2019. Let's see what happens.
You got this. You got this. I'll be making sure. I'll text you. I'll be like, all right, where's that 6-pack?
Yeah.
So yeah. My next thing is, normally I ask, and this might be different for you because it seems like you do some freelancing also. So
not anymore, but yeah.
Not anymore. Okay.
But I have a question. Yeah.
So my question normally is, why did you decide 9 to 5 isn't for you? But it seems like now you're going around the path to choose a 9 to 5. So why exactly did you choose a 9 to 5 job?
Yeah, that's an awesome question. So freelancing is hard. Like Gary says it best, and this is why I went to Seattle.
Okay.
If you're good enough, you'll win.
Yeah.
Period. Like, and I believe that 100%. And so I'm a college dropout. I wanted to be a designer. The way to become a designer, you just do. So I worked at a startup 9 to 5, and I learned those skills. And then I was like, people wanted me to do it on the side. That takes time. So then I started being able to, you know what, I've got 4 clients now that I'm running their social media. Maybe I'll start my own little agency. And that's what I was trying to do when I used an agency. Basically, it was me doing photos, copy, curating, and for like 4 different like little mini companies. And so it's hard. And then one of those clients turned out to be a bigger client that ended up like taking me on, offering me more money. And I'm like, you know what? This seems like a better fit financially. And so I'm like, screw it. And then it's like the 9 to 5 just didn't work out. And that's when I went to Seattle to do it all over again.
Okay.
And so with K-Swiss, it was like a no-brainer because it was different. Like this is something I've been like just gunning for I'm not joking, like 3 years. And so
awesome.
When opportunity arises, like you just take it.
Take it, yeah.
And then at that point, what's more important is like happiness.
Yeah.
It's not a money thing. It's like fulfilling dreams, fulfilling goals, like
fulfilling yourself.
Like, dude, like I'm like 100% committed. Like I said, dropped everything from Seattle and came here.
Yeah.
That's like, you don't say no to opportunity. And so it just depends on what you want. If you don't want a corporate job and you're cool and you figure out how to make the money that you want freelancing, do that. I don't know what happened to the video, but
am I good?
Can you see me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're fine then.
Okay.
I have like 5 more minutes.
All right.
So my advice is like freelance, because that way you learn how to hustle. And I would even I was freelancing when I had my 9 to 5. That's why I have these crazy routines, because I had to do it at 7 a.m. and then I had to do it from like 7 to 10 p.m. or something like that.
Okay.
every single day. And then on the weekends, fuck, then you're doing it all day. And on Sundays, I'm doing it the whole entire day. And then at night, I'm trying to plan for the week. Like, what am I going to do Monday, Tuesday? What? Every single day is like, this day I'm working on this. This day I'm working on this. And that allowed me to like go this direction. And so that's my long rant advice to freelancers is do that, because you'll learn so much. And then if you can learn how to like just fucking keep going, then you just have fun, and then other doors open, opportunity arises, and then it's up to you like what direction you want to go. And this is another Gary thing that I really believe in, which is like you're in full control. And I've legitimately learned that. Like it's up to you. It's completely up to you what you want to do.
Yeah, I would 100% agree with that, listening to Gary like the past couple months. So my next question, Omar, is like, what is like your dream goal? Like, what is Omar sent down here to Earth to accomplish before he leaves?
That's a monster question. I'm generally a happy guy, and right now my only goal for reals, it's kind of a selfish goal, is I want like my family's last name, Prestwich, which is last name. I want to inspire my family, my brothers, my parents, my nieces and nephews, and who knows after, that they can like pursue a dream and make it happen. Like that to me is like really the most important thing, because I was never really taught that. You know, I was taught like you work hard work, and that I am a hard worker. But I was never taught to like have purpose and have like an actual like desire of like, hey, you want to be a DJ? Be a DJ. You know? And so that's what I really like. If there's a goal at the end of my life that, and even now, my niece and nephews can be like, hey, if my uncle Omar can do it, like, why can't I do it? So that's like, you know, and obviously my goals are beyond. Like I want to be one of the guys that in 10 years, when people talk about K-Swiss, they're like, yo, the turnaround was crazy. It's like this crazy epic, like huge ass company, which it is going to happen, I promise. I want to be like one of the dudes that was a part of that. That dude, like,
I see it.
That's a goal, 100%. So that takes commitment, focus, and like long-term thinking and like focus.
Yeah. Dude, you guys with the new like entrepreneur line and everything like that, like I see you guys are taking over. Like I wouldn't be surprised within like the next year or two if like it's like Adidas, Nike, K-Swiss, like.
Well, dude, if you like, whenever this comes out, if you guys Google or go to footwearnews.com or go to Case, you know, there's Footwear News that just released an article yesterday that about the 7 like iconic moments in footwear of 2018. Obviously, like the Nike ad that blew everyone's mind. There was an Adidas thing or something like that. And then number 7 was K-Swiss, and like the turnaround of small brands. And they had a picture of the the Clouds and Dirt shoe. Like that was a huge deal, you know, because Nike is a beast, Adidas a beast. K-Swiss is like a small like company, and it's on the comeback, obviously. But the fact that, you know, you're putting Nike and K-Swiss in like the same tier, it's like, dude, of course, dude, there's moves.
Yeah, dude.
But it's all the team. It's all the team.
You guys are turning me into sneakerheads. So
okay, what's your last question, dude? I'm sorry that I'm like have to cut you short.
No problem. So I'm just gonna throw 2 questions at you at the same time. So one is, what's your number 1 piece of life advice? And then my next one is any shout outs that you want to give shout outs to, like your Instagram, anything like that.
Yeah, you're the best. My best advice?
Yeah, your number 1 piece of life advice. I mean, it might be something that you're focused on like really hard right now, or it just might be something that like you've had throughout your life that you focused on.
My honest like life advice so far, and this is something I try to do, is consistently work on yourself. And when you work on yourself, that opens up a lot of things. It opens up your mind to be more grateful. So that's a huge thing. You learn patience. I think that just working on yourself is the most important thing, because like you are in your mind like all day. If you're not working on yourself, you're like damaging yourself. You're I think, what's his name? Tony Robbins calls it no man's land. You're like,
It's not, you're not
Yeah, you're just like you're not
there.
living.
Yeah.
So that's my number one piece of advice, and I'm still working on it, but it's been the best thing. I've never been happier. I've never had a better year, and I attribute it literally to like little things that start with just working on myself. So that's
Awesome.
the only advice that I have. And then as far as shout outs, I mean, my number one shout out, it's got to be my man Barney Waters, who actually linked us up.
Yeah.
The dude is like a visionary. Like the way that he leads and the way the team that he's putting together is by far. Actually literally just texted me. It just popped up right now. The dude's like unreal, and I got to give him a lot of love because he's pushing, and like to lead a pack and it's not easy, right? It's not easy to be, and it's not easy to be an excellent leader. So he walks the walk and like respect. So that's a shout out to him. And then obviously like my whole entire team, Indy, Santi, Patrick, Letitia, Jason, MJ, like everyone at K-Swiss, like we're a family, and I fucking love that.
That's
like
awesome.
I think I want like all the shout outs to them because they, even out when we were out today, I told them like, dude, you guys have become like friends and family to me, and I'm like loyal to the death. So mad love to them, and I'm not sure like who else to give shout outs to. Like everyone that's listening, like thank you. So shout out, and I guess two more shout outs. One, of course, Gary V, because his advice since like Crush It, this is like 2011 when I started my record label, and my motto was do what you love. I had a friend give me a book, or it's like, you remind me of this guy named Gary Vaynerchuk. And I'm like, Gary V. I'm like, I feel like I've heard that name before. And I went home, and in the bookshelf, I actually had the Crush It book that a friend gave me because I started the record label, and I never read it. And so as soon as I like, so I just started following the advice, and it's been a process, and it's been a journey that's it's just barely starting. But I got to give him a shout out because it's just like, if he can do it again, like that's why he wins, because like he can do it, we can do it. And it's all about like, it's just up to you as far as like what winning is to you.
Yeah.
So him, and then the next one is like D-Rock, because again, just like Gary and his example, D-Rock has become the example of work for free. It's not about being this. You can still be happy doing a 9-to-5, right? Like, that's me. I put my record label, my little agency, everything aside, and I'm doing this, and I find joy in it every single day. And so like I got to give him a mega shout out because that's an awesome example. So that's my shout out.
That's awesome, man. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I'll take this part off right here, but I was wondering if there's any way I could get your contact info so we can just stay in contact. And if I ever come out to LA, right, that's where you are?
Yep. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Just honestly, I'll message you, but it's Omar at K-Swiss.
Okay.
Omar.Prestwich at Gmail, and Instagram, I'm there all the time. So.
All right. Thanks, man.
Cool. Cheers, brother.
See you.